Hey guys, MD Prepper here. Part 13 of our 72-hour kit from Dollar Tree. This time we're talking about what I consider multi-purpose items. Things that just didn't quite fit into any single category that we've discussed so far. Some of it may overlap, you'll see. But these are just multi-purpose items that can be used for lots of things that did not seem to fit. Okay, got a message during making my little medical kit going, where's the bandana? Well, my response was, well, bandanas aren't just medical. You need a bandana or cloth or something like that for general purpose. And again, this is why I threw it in here. Got this. This is not actually a bandana. This was called a kitchen towel, but it is the exact same thickness. It's 100% cotton with the exact same weave as almost every other bandana I've got. So, solid color here. Doesn't have a little cutesy little paisley rather, pattern on it. It's not as big as your standard bandana. Okay? There it is laid out for you, if you can see it there. Still fairly decent. Little hang tag says it's 15 inches by 26 inches. So, a little small for a bandana overall, but I think this is going to do the job for most purposes. So, I may pick up another one of these. I just picked up one in blue just because I could. I think they had a lime green and some other colors I can't remember. Anyway, this will fit the purpose for putting around your neck if it's wet, you know, cool yourself off. Putting over a water bottle to filter things out, particulate, that type of stuff. So this is going to be a good enough of a bandana to get the job done. So that's going to be a must. Next on the list, electrical tape. Now, I get 2 rolls here for $1. We don't need both, just one. Gonna throw that in there. It's waterproof, it's nice. A lot of things you do with electrical tape, wrap all sorts of things together. Not as good as duct tape, but anyway. 50 feet per roll. I'll only take one of these out of the 2 out of here. I'm going to store it down here in that which holds the roll together. Duct tape. Got to have some duct tape. Now, this is not the best duct tape deal in the world, but for $1, it's 10 yards. That's not a tremendous amount of duct tape, but it's enough. You see it right there. That's going to get the job done. Now, I'm going to keep this little side here on just because I can use that to burn for fire or something like that, and I can store stuff in it for now. I'm going to put 1 roll of my electrical tape in there and whatever else I can fit on the inside of the hole of the duct tape or the electrical tape. You don't have to keep this on here. One of the things I saw from Dave Canterbury that he does with his duct tape, he keeps the whole roll, punches that out, and takes his cordage and stores it, you know, through the hole on the other side. If you want to do that, keeps everything nice and handy together. Whatever you want to do. So, electrical tape and duct tape, I think we need both of these. You know, patching a tear in your tarps or just any number of things. You can use this to secure wounds once you put some gauze on there. There's just a lot of stuff. Duct tape's more useful than the electrical, but since they fit there together so nicely, I'm going to take the electrical tape as well. So, duct tape, electrical tape, must have. Next on the list of things you don't have to have, but would be kind of nice. Gloves. Pair of gloves. Basic gloves. These aren't going to be the warmest in the world, but heck, it's something. Keep your hands from getting blisters on them if you're chopping wood or working with just debris, anything like that. Keep you getting scraped up. Anything like that could be used to keep you a little warmer. So, basic set of work gloves. Nothing special. They're not your rawhide, you know, pig hide leather gloves or anything like that, which you could usually get at Harbor Freight for $2. But again, we're doing Dollar Tree here. So, this is going to get the job done. They're small. They're lightweight. They're okay. So, general purpose, do a lot with this. You know, picking up a hot water bottle or that hot pan, the loaf pan, something like that. Keep from getting burned. So, there's your gloves. I think those are probably, in my opinion, a must. Anyway, next, super glue. 2 containers of that. We don't need both. I'd probably throw one in there. Could you pull together a wound if you had to? Super glue it. Yeah, you could. I wouldn't recommend that. Again, 72 hours. We're not looking long term. You can probably just suture it up, you know, bind it up fairly well and do okay with your little medical kit. A lot of things you can do with super glue though. If something breaks, you need to put it back together. This is okay. I think we need 1 little container of that just to be safe. Kind of like duct tape. I really don't want to be without it. Okay. Next, plastic bags. Smaller ones. Just general purpose, little quart-sized plastic bags. 15 of these in a box. They've got that nice little red pull tab that you got there so you know the slide, that you know it's locked into place. It's going to be quick and easy in a hurry. We can store small items in that, keep them dry. We could use it for extra water storage. We could just all sorts of stuff. Nuts and berries, anything you happen to find can go in this. Obviously, we don't need all 15. I'd say probably 2 or 3 is going to be enough, depending on how many we use for storage. But anyway, we need a few little storage baggies just just because you do. Your ramen noodles. You open your ramen noodles up, wherever I set them, and you don't eat the whole thing. You don't want pieces of ramen noodle floating around your pack. Put one of them in a little Ziploc baggie. Good to go. So, got to have some of those. I think the quart size is probably going to be reasonable for small stuff and big stuff. So, got to have a few of those. Next up, ponchos. Now, we already talked about tarps and cover. Well, this isn't exactly the biggest thing in the cover world. I just found these recently. I had not seen these in the stores until the last few weeks. One of my stores had this one. The other Dollar Tree had this one. Not sure which one we want. This one, this adult raincoat, has got snaps on it. It's got a rain hood over the top of it, you know, long sleeves, all of that. A little thicker than the cheaper stuff. It's got little snaps at the front so you can button it down and all that, but you know, is that one more thing to break? Is that something we want or don't want? We could lay that out better as a rain catch, something like that, as a tarp on the ground, but I don't know, we've already got the tarps covered with little drop claws and all that. So I think we need a raincoat, but do we need 3 of them? Probably not. Anyway, this is with the snaps for $1. This is one of them. This is fairly bulky. I think about the same amount of bulk, 2 versus the 1, give or take. So, raincoat, let me know what you think. You got 2 ponchos here. One of them is clear plastic, one of them's semi-see-through yellow. Just a basic pullover style with a hood and all of that. 50 cents a piece. Honestly, if I'm going to carry one of these, I'd probably just prefer to carry both. In case I get a tear in it, something like that. But anyway, let me know what you think about raincoats. You know, basic ponchos. I think one of the options, if not both, is probably worth it. Very lightweight. Again, that's going to be okay. Could you jury rig something with your drop claws? You could, but I wouldn't want to. Next, you may think this was an odd choice, but for $1, I think it's worth it. Your little synthetic chamois, your ShamWows or whatever. This is a knockoff brand, I believe. It's called the Wow, German design. 2 of them. This is not the size they are. This one's folded in half. There's 2 here. These are, I believe, 13 by 13. Let me check. Yep, 13 by 13. Super absorbent claws here. You say, well, I don't want that. Well, camper towels, all that type of stuff. Dry yourself off, you know, if you're bathing something. But honestly, more than that, you can use as a pot holder, something hot water, you know, bottle, or the loaf pan you're cooking with, you know, stuff like that. It's decent insulator and all that. But even more importantly is water collection. Early morning dew. There's a field full of grain or full of wheat, you know, just whatever, high grasses, and you're running low on water, don't have a water source. Well, you know what? You can take the bandana here, your towel, and wrap it around your leg, or just walk around and rub it through the grass and collect water, and that's going to be drinkable. Well, this is going to be able to do a much better job. Just squeeze that out, you know, into your loaf pan and drink it. So I think this is worth it. It's small, it's lightweight. I think both of them are worth taking along. Again, just for drying yourself off if you happen to get wet. Just any other options. I like this. I think I can do a lot of different interesting things with this. So I'd probably take this off, obviously. Maybe not, because I'd burn that for fire starter if I needed to. But anyway, I'd take at least one of these, probably both. Addition to the bandana. Nice add-on. Next, we're talking about drying yourself off. I'm a firm believer in hygiene, cleanliness, you know, next to godliness and all of that. You need a few bars of soap. I'd say just 1, and not all 3. This is just what I got for $1. It was 3 Dial Basics hypoallergenic. Now, I don't have any allergies to soaps or anything, but who knows who you might run into that needs that. And again, for the price, basic Irish Spring was 2 bars for $1. So I got this. You know, throw one of these in a pack, preferably into a Ziploc bag, especially once it gets wet. Just throw it in the Ziploc bag, seal it up. You say, that's a lot of soap for a day. Yeah, or for 3 days. Yeah, it is, but if I had to wash dirty clothes, I could do okay with that. If I had to, you know, clean my hands, bathe my body, wash my hair, any number of cleaning tasks would be okay with this. A lot of people say, well, why not use liquid? I don't like liquid soap. You punch a hole in that bottle and you get liquid soap all inside your pack, you're in a mess of trouble. Okay, that's going to be a pain in the butt. So, anyway, bar of soap in one of those little plastic bags, good to go, in my opinion. I do this in my standard packs. I would certainly do it in a 72-hour. Like having a bar of soap around. Next, somebody recommended I go ahead and pick up the mesh utility bag. We already saw the plastic lined one, which is going to be fairly waterproof. I didn't initially see much use for the mesh one there, but somebody said, you know, what about your tarp? Your drop cloths, you know, ponchos, all of that. You wake up the next morning, all that, the rain's gone, and everything else you got, outside your bag, your tarp and everything is soaked. Do you want to turn around and put that right back in the bag? Well, I've got those little plastic containers I can put them in, but they're going to get mildewy and nasty, and why would you want to do that and risk contaminating the rest of your pack? So, good point. Get this little thing. Very lightweight, weighs nothing. Keep it in the pack, and if you've got wet gear, you can shove it in here if you had to and walk along with it. Not contaminating the rest of your pack. It's going to air out a little bit. Also, if you had to carry other things, you find an apple tree, pears, something like that, fruit of some sort, oranges. Well, I don't want that in my pack getting squished up and messing with everything in the pack. Well, can I fill this full of, a bushel or two of apples and throw it over my shoulder? Take it back to the camp or just store it in, hang it up. Yeah, okay, I could do that. You could use this as a mesh seine type thing if you had to go try and catching fish, I guess, if you cut it up. I don't think I'd try that, but anyway, you could do that. It's got a little secure little lashing down there to not take out of the pack, but for a buck, the mesh one probably is useful for wet type stuff. General purpose carrying of just things. You don't want to, if I was carrying leaves or something back to camp and I didn't want to mess up my tarp, could I fill this with leaves and not mess up my standard plastic one? Yeah, I'd rather sacrifice this one than the other one. Again, the aeration is going to be useful for wet clothing and socks and everything else if you had to get on the move. So we got that. Last, but well, not quite last, this little plastic screw top container. Canister, if you will. Don't know if we want that or not. We may not. This thing is 38 fluid ounces. I would not necessarily use this for water storage, but if I wanted to secure something that I wanted to keep nice and dry, guaranteed to keep dry, I think I might want this. I could have some smaller containers, but I just thought this would be better multi-purpose. Put a lighter in here. Put my cotton balls in here. Lighters, matches, just any number of things that I'm worried about, votive candles, just any number of things that I don't want to get wet, I could keep in this. You say this is kind of bulky and big. Yeah, you're right. Could I use this for all sorts of things? If I found blueberries or, raspberries or strawberries, I don't think I want to carry that in the plastic bag that's going to turn it to pulp, or even that little mesh bag. I could put it in this and carry it. We're good to go. Now, to give you some comparison here, there's our pan, loaf pan, which we pretty well decided we're going to carry with us. Oh, look at that. That's not a whole lot more space. And I'm looking for my duct tape and my electrical tape. There you go. That's not tremendously large, guys. I don't think that is not a tremendous addition of space. Again, I'm going to have to put my duct tape somewhere and whatever I've got shoved in the inside there, or whatever else I want to put in there. I can also wedge my spoon in on one side there, and that ain't bad. That's going to get the job done, okay? I can wedge that in there a little bit better. I'm going to have to work with it a bit. There we go. That does not take up that much room. So I think this container may make it to my final kit. I'm not sure. I'd like to have some security with my dry storage option, okay? Is the Ziploc bag good? Yeah, but you could punch a hole in the Ziploc bag. Things inside could get crushed. This could get crushed, but again, less likelihood, okay? This is going to be better overall, I think. May not carry it, but I may. Just thought. Now finally, this is not a multi-purpose item necessarily, but something I would consider taking in any pack. Something for entertainment. 2 packs of playing cards for $1. I probably wouldn't take both, but here we go. Pack of cards. Basic stuff. 50 cents, basically, 2 for $1. Throw one of these in your pack, guys. You're sitting around at night, bored out of your skull, around the campfire. You need something to keep busy. They sell dice, they sell all sorts, just all sorts of stuff in the Dollar Tree that you may want to get. But the standard one, deck of cards. You guys can sit there with pebbles and play poker. I don't know. If it's just you, play solitaire, blackjack. Just anything. Just something to, take time and go fish. I don't know. You, the kids, the wife, something. A pack of these is probably worth the effort. Just to have it around. Something to mess with. It's what little downtime you may have after dark. You may disagree with that, but boredom is quite the killer. So, there are our multi-purpose items, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know how many bandana, quote, kitchen towels I may need. All that type of stuff. See which ones of these I need to keep and which ones I don't. Anyway, MB Prepper, out.